Live from downtown Vancouver at the Vancouver Film School campus, it's time for EP Live. Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day, and we've got an amazing show for you today. We've got two guests on the episode. We've got our old friend Jeff Keighley, who is in town for the TED event that takes place every year in Vancouver, which is pretty rad. And we've also got Eric Jacobus, who is an athlete and a martial artist and an actor, and he is physically embodying incredible characters like Kratos, and we're going to talk to him all about that. We've got a rundown to get to first, and we're going to dedicate this one to Bill Longpre, who is a longtime fan all the way back to the Tommy Tallarico days. Thank you so much, Bill. We got you this rundown. All right, we finally know when to expect and what to expect from the PlayStation 5. We don't know exactly when to expect the PlayStation 5. In an exclusive interview published this morning from Wired, Sony dropped the first official details on the PS5. Although they haven't shown off what the new system will look like, we do know that it will have a solid-state hard drive for faster load times, a next-gen GPU that supports ray tracing, and it will be fully backwards compatible with existing PlayStation 4 games. No word if the backwards compatibility will extend further to the PlayStation 1, 2, and 3. They've also confirmed that the system will support physical media and downloads, so it won't be download only as some had assumed. Another assumption that has turned out to be wrong is the release window. The PlayStation 5 won't be out this year, so we'll likely be getting it sometime in 2020. And in that interview, Mark Cerny was talking about the PlayStation 5 as the next-gen console. He wasn't naming it as the PS5, so they haven't really confirmed that that's what it's called. I think it's good that Sony has kind of come out ahead of this and said that it's not coming out this year, because we do know that Sony's not going to be at E3 this year. I'll talk to Jeff a little bit about that because it's so weird. But they are going to be putting on a big PlayStation, whatever it's called. Let's assume PlayStation 5, okay? Can we all collectively agree that it's probably going to be called the PlayStation 5? They're going to have a big event to talk about all that stuff, so it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to show off, and I think it's good that they're saying that it's not coming out until next year, because that's what the speculation has all been about. Ray tracing is huge. Obviously, NVIDIA got ahead of the curve there and started showing off what ray tracing means for video games, and the fact that it's going to be a part of a console is a really significant deal. I think it's incumbent, though, because they've had this sort of mid-level switcheroo with the PlayStation 4 Plus, that they really show off that this next generation of hardware is, in fact, a brand new sort of console, a totally different type of console experience. It has to feel like we are upgrading to something completely fresh. And it also is important that they have backwards compatibility. I think Microsoft sort of lost the horse race and didn't come in first place in this generation with the software that they offered, and I think PlayStation was ahead on pricing and a little bit more sort of user flexibility. But one of the things that they did win back a lot of favor for is their efforts with backwards compatibility. So Sony has to meet Xbox somewhere in the middle there and say, look, you can play a lot of our classic PlayStation games on the PlayStation 5. And it would be great if, Ultra HD Blu-rays played on there. They might just skip that entirely, but it would be pretty cool if finally you could play, a mechanism that they helped to create, the 4K Blu-ray, on a PlayStation machine. It would just be awesome if you could do that. But we'll see. Very excited about this, and of course VR is going to be a big part of it too. Mark Cerny did mention, they didn't give us any details, but VR is going to be a big deal. Are you guys excited for the PlayStation 5? I feel like this is probably going to be it's going to be the last of their dedicated consoles, and then from there on, it will be the PlayStation. You're the PlayStation Network or the environment. You'll be able to access their content through some kind of service that they have. But the PlayStation 5, if it ends up being the last console that they make, it's a pretty nice round number to end on, don't you think? I know that sounds pretty glum. It's not even here, and we're already saying it's the end of their consoles. But yeah, I am psyched. I want to hear from you guys. If you are psyched, let's talk about it in Let's Play and Chat, and we'll definitely be reading the comments below. The big screen Minecraft movie is still alive and well. It just needs more time to be crafted. Warner Brothers and game maker Mojang have announced that the long-in-development film adaptation will hit theaters on March 4th, 2022. It's already been in development for many years and has gone through several different directors, but the studio decided to start from scratch with a new team of filmmakers earlier this year. Hopefully everything proceeds smoothly from here on out. The film is expected to focus on a new group of blocky characters who, like in the game, will take on a deadly dragon to save the Minecraft overworld. We also know that the film will be live action, so it's unclear how the visual style of the game will translate to real-life actors. I think it's fantastic that huge corporations are saying, nope, it's not up to snuff. Let's scrub all of that work and let's start again. We saw that happen with Metroid and Nintendo earlier this year. Presumably, a lot of work had already gone into this and a lot of money had been spent. So the fact that they just said, no, it's not good enough. I guess what they're trying to do, because I think they're working with Phil Lord and Chris Miller behind the scenes, and these guys have been on fire recently. They want it to be as, oh, they're not? They stepped off of that? Okay, Blake's saying, okay, no, he's giving me the signal. They aren't working on that. Well, if they're not working with those guys, they're certainly looking at those guys and saying, we want some of that, because those guys are killing it. And so if they knew they were on a trajectory with this Minecraft movie that wasn't going to meet expectations, they had to kind of shift course and move in a different direction. It's so far away, though. I think we're still in 2019, right? We're not in 2011 today. No, we're still in 2019. So we have a long way to go before we get into 2022 and thinking about what this Minecraft movie is going to look like. I'm curious. Definitely, it feels like, the move towards putting more effort and love and commitment into video game movies is becoming a real thing. So, let's keep our fingers crossed. Yesterday, we were talking about the Tomb Raider thing. We all know the Sonic movie is going to crush it this year, right? No, but Detective Pikachu looks pretty good, so maybe this Minecraft movie is going to be fun. I'll talk with Jeff about that, too, because I'm sure he's got some Hollywood pals that are making movies based on video games. All right, you'll be able to avenge the Fallen on the Switch this summer. Nintendo has announced that the Switch-exclusive Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 will land July 19th. I can't wait for this. Like the original games, players will be able to assemble a team of their favorite Marvel heroes and then take on villains like Thanos. And judging by the trailer, there will be a stronger emphasis on characters like Captain Marvel and the Guardians, who have more mainstream popularity now thanks to their movies. Original publisher Activision isn't involved in the new game, with development instead being handled by Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive studio Team Ninja. What I've seen so far visually, it isn't knocking my socks off, but these are incredible characters. We might be talking about some Spider-Man a little bit later on in the show, actually. I want a lot more Marvel video game action, we are inundated with all of these incredible live action movies and TV shows and news every day about how Marvel is taking over our literal universe, and the absence of great Marvel video games is very, very evident and felt. And the fact that Nintendo swooped in and said, look, we can have more with this franchise and made it an exclusive on the Switch is not only smart, it's incredibly exciting for Marvel fanatics like myself, and it's also capitalizing on all of that incredible, marketing that all of these movies are just sort of handing over. You want to play the Avengers type of experience this summer? Well, the console that's going to best serve that up is likely going to be the Nintendo Switch. Shocked everybody, and I'm psyched for this. I hope it lives up to the previous two games, because those still live high in my estimation. Love those games.